Okay, what's going on? And welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Roscoe, we're back.
We are back. We are bringing you all the latest football news. And Basmo, I must say, I'm excited to be here. Things are looking up for us as Manchester United fans at the moment. So I feel like it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, especially not having Paul here, man. We hate that guy.
No, I'm joking.
Oh,
Paul didn't want to show up after Everton's bad run of results.
No. Shout out to Paul. He's doing some really good work with Irish Football Fan TV, and he can't be here every week, but the football show has to go out for the fans, you know.
Yeah, it does indeed.
So if you are new to the show, make sure to hit a like, make sure to subscribe, because we're bringing you everything. Also, we're going to do an FA Cup show putting out on Friday. It's the FA Cup semi-final preview. So stick around.
Yeah, stick around, definitely. Might even get it out on Thursday. Who knows?
Yeah, let's see how we're feeling.
Yeah, let's see how things go.
Yeah.
It depends on Man United win.
The MMA show is out on Wednesday as well, so don't forget that as well.
Yeah.
Go on ahead.
So we're going to kick off the show with Ireland lost a legend this week. RIP to Jack Charlton. What an absolute legend. He brought us to the Euros in 1988. That's when Ray Houghton put the ball in the English net. What a moment. He also brought us to the World Cup in 1990, and we got to the quarterfinals. So, you know, absolute legend. And we got to the World Cup in 1994. 2 World Cups and the Euros. Basmo, as much as maybe he is Ireland's most successful manager of all time, but he's an absolute legend. And, like, as an Englishman who managed Ireland, ever had more songs made about him?
No, I think it's because he embraced the pad he had as well, to be honest.
Yeah, you know what? That was actually absolutely. It was as if it was a farmer or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Huh?
He also won the World Cup in England in 1966, so he's also a World Cup winner as a player. He knew how to get the job done, didn't he?
Yeah, like a lot of people said that like Ireland could have played better football under him. But I've listened to those Avon Dunphy podcasts, and they discuss how he was just set in his ways, and he was like, "This is the blueprint. We're going to get things done." Now, in fairness, he did get things done. He also had Ireland's greatest ever team as well.
Yeah, but the fans got behind him like there was no tomorrow. Do you know 500,000 people showed up to welcome the team back after the 1990 World Cup?
I saw the pictures, man. It was just that was a bit before coronavirus was around, wasn't it?
Yeah, Italia 90 was lit.
Yeah, man.
Really was. So, RIP to an absolute legend.
Yeah, but that's like, see the way we're covering the football now. Like, I hope for days like that to happen, so we can be almost, well, technically you feel a part of it by covering it, but like, I feel like I'd love to see Ireland in the World Cup again. When like last time we saw Ireland in the World Cup was 2002.
Yeah, hopefully for the Euros in 2021 we'll be in it. It'll be in Dublin at some stage.
Yeah,
and the fans will be allowed to go.
Yeah, man.
I can't believe there's so many hurdles now for such what seems to be a small thing.
I know, there is a lot of hurdles. Ireland do have 2 big games coming up, away to Slovakia and then away to either Northern Ireland or Bosnia if they win the first one. So it's going to be a two tough games. I think the first game is going to be tougher, but the second game is going to be in a tougher environment if you have to play Northern Ireland away.
Absolutely.
But there'll be no fans. There mightn't be any fans there, so it might actually work out in our favour, you know.
Although I think, does our team not benefit with fans, no?
Well, but if we're away.
Oh, for away, yeah, true.
Yeah, not the home.
Not the home games. So, Basmo, just as you're enjoying that, is it tea or coffee you're on today?
This week is just pure vodka, man. You know, us Irish are alcoholics.
Oh, yeah, man. I thought you would have said the whiskey, but sure, look. Right, well...
That's my Polish blood kicking in, man.
You have the rundown of the show.
Okay, here, first of all, everyone, thanks a million for tuning in. I was actually at a party over the weekend, and a lot of people say they really enjoyed the shows. Some of them just watch the football, even though they prefer the MMA, but they just like having a bit of crack with us. I was also told previous shows I could almost come across as a bit too serious. I think it's because like I'm recording, so I have to make sure the internet and everything is fucking working. So I'm always like on the edge. But yeah, like myself and Ross, like we just love doing this stuff, and you know what I mean. I'd recommend it to anyone to start doing this stuff, especially if you're like I wouldn't say we're specialists, but if you're
passionate about something.
Yeah, if you're passionate about something, do it, because there's an audience there, and the amount of friends we've made through it is just crazy. And just long may it begin. But on today's show, obviously, we wanted to cover Jack Charlton passing away because that was terrible news to get.
Tick that box.
Yeah, exactly. Then, like, obviously, if you've been checking out our Instagram page, the Champions League draw was made, the Europa League draw was made. And then obviously today, the big news is Man City are after being allowed into next season's Champions League. So we're going to kick it off there. But at the end, we will be looking over the top four and the relegation battle. And Ross has a question out of the day. Will Liverpool break the 100-point barrier and set the record? So, Ross, we're going to kick it off. Man City today was announced they're going to be allowed in next season's Champions League. After we said they were not getting it, we were like, they're not getting it. Top 5 is a thing. I made top 5 a thing, and now it doesn't exist.
Yeah, now it shows that after Barry creating the top 5 being like such a work in progress, it looks like the brown envelope prevailed, as always with FIFA and with UEFA. If you have a big enough brown envelope, you can get anything done.
Or
Man City,
or if you talk enough brown.
Or if you talk enough brown, Man City are back. This is massive news for Man City as a club. People were looking at Man City and they were very much fearful for them as a club. There was talks of Pep Guardiola leaving if they got banned. There was talks of Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne. All their star men, including their manager, were talk of leaving. Now Man City can not only prepare for next season's Champions League and Premier League, but they can also add to their squad knowing that they have Champions League football next year. This makes Man City one of the top contenders for the Champions League and the Premier League next year, and it makes them a massive force again in the transfer market.
Yeah, all the above, man. Originally, they were meant to be kicked out of Europe for 2 years and have a £27 million fine, and now it's cut down to £9 million and no ban. So first of all, why are they getting fined if they're not getting banned?
Yeah, I don't understand getting fined. If you're getting banned, it's doesn't really make any sense. Court, it's either guilty or not guilty.
Yeah, but usually in court, if like you sue me and then I come out right, you have to pay for my expenses.
Yeah,
fees, costs. So,
well, maybe there was some. Maybe it's because there was some infringements, but they didn't actually do anything illegal. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
maybe
it's corrupt, man. It's fucking corrupt.
Well, look, I'm just trying to look for the legal aspect of why they still have to pay a fine and don't get banned. Well, anyway, you know what? They're back in it, and nothing we say on this podcast is going to change that. So let's look at Man City now. They're like a mile off Liverpool in the league, but they're still very far ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
Where's their gain?
12 points ahead of Chelsea, 21 points behind Liverpool.
Where's their gains going to be in the next transfer window? And do you think this will have a positive effect on them playing Champions League this year? Or do you think they'll be like, oh, well, we're in it next year? Obviously, they'll try and win the Champions League this year, but do you think it will sort of, stunt their Champions League this year?
Good question. No, I think that's going to re-energize everything. Like, that's going to take that cloud, that Manchester cloud off the building. And they're like, right, the sun has now come. Now they can get players in who want to come or who are like hungry. Because realistically, anyone who's going to go there and be banned out of the Champions League or Europe for 2 years was realistically more likely going to be a mercenary, Like people with ambition aren't going to go somewhere that's like sinking really. Look at for instance United, like the Di Marias and the Falcaos of this world. But now the way they've even been playing recently as well, I know they've been up and down slightly, more up than down, but crushing teams 5-0. It seems like the two Manchester clubs seem to be like on fire. Definitely.
Raheem Sterling seems to have found his form again as well.
Did you see his
hat-trick there against Brighton?
Did you see his hat-trick go?
Oh, well, the one where you fell over and hit him on the head.
Yeah, amazing.
Look, when you're playing well, there's the sort of things that go for you. Who do you think, Barry, that Man City are going to buy in this window, and where do you think they need to strengthen?
Obviously, they've been looking at centre-back. Attacking-wise, they're brilliant, man. Like, they have the Bernardo Silvas and the Mahrez's that come on, but I think centre-back. But the problem is, there's not enough centre-backs.
Do you think that Thiago Silva could be someone that they look at? He's on a free. You could sign him up for a year. It might be a stopgap for a year. You could definitely bring on someone like Garcia and, potentially against weaker oppositions, or you'd also add that bit of European experience that even Laporte would lack.
That's a good point. I think now because of all this, what's up after happening now, they've been let off with a slap in the wrist. I think now people are going to be nosing in on their transfers, right? So if you get one warning, you should really like be like, all right, shit. But yeah, I think sort of easier deals, they might try and do more of them.
And another question for you. Obviously, Sergio Aguero is
Yeah.
one of the best strikers in Premier League history. However, it's always very well known that he's got a horrific injury record. He misses at least 10 games a year, I think it's safe to say. Is Gabriel Jesus enough if Sergio Aguero is not there to get the job done? Or is that maybe an area that they need to strengthen? Also, Aguero is sort of getting on in his career, and I feel like he's only 1 or 2 injuries away now from like that being it.
Aguero.
Do you think they need to replace him, or do you think they need to bring in someone who could potentially replace him?
See, he's such a little crafty fox in the box, you know, like the way he's sort of small as well. Now I don't know how he looks small compared to centre backs, but like he could almost.
Well, he's under 6 foot anyway.
Yeah. But like he could run by your chin and you wouldn't even see him, you know, and then he's like behind you or in front of you. The way he can score goals, like you don't lose that. Like natural finishing is just in your DNA. To get someone to replace him, I think they'd almost need to get someone who's fast. Someone like Haaland, maybe. His dad used to play for Man City.
Yeah, fair. No, I'm just looking at.
I think Aguero has one more season. I think he has one more season in him, definitely.
Well, it depends on how he recovers from this latest. I think it's a knee operation.
I think this is more of a maintenance thing.
Okay, but look, it definitely feels like he's 1 injury away from that's it, from definitely like severely depreciating his performance. And I think a potential replacement for Aguero at a centre half is definitely where they're most in need.
Who would you go for
instead of Aguero?
Yeah, you nosy fuck.
I really like that Haaland show. I think that's like top the range, really. To be honest, I don't really think there's anyone else out there who
because they go for 5
play
stars.
the same like that. But if they're willing to put the cash down, I think Harry Kane could do all right for Man City.
Yeah,
I think with that level of service, he'll score goals for you because he's quite good at sort of getting the tappy in goals. He's a bit of a poacher compared to Aguero, so I think he'd do that for you.
I think they'd be about the same, man.
What do you mean?
Poaching goals. I think Aguero's better at being a poacher.
Yeah, but I think Aguero's slicker at it as opposed to I think Harry Kane. They more fall to Harry Kane, if that makes sense. His goal, like Harry Kane, doesn't score incredible goals as opposed to Aguero. Well,
I think Harry Kane would be more of a goal scorer outside the box than Aguero. If I was to look at him, but
I feel like Harry Kane will get you a scrappy goal in the box.
Aguero does as well. Remember when he got that winner and he was like Aguero?
Yeah, well, no,
that wasn't a voice.
That was the right place at the right time. No one's better at it.
You took that out of your brain.
But yeah, there you go. I suppose Harry Kane, but I definitely think Haaland's a better shout.
Haaland, people are going to be knocking on his door.
You know who they could get? They got your man Dybala from Juventus and played him up front. He might be able to do it.
I know, but I don't think Dybala is also another person who scores great goals, but I don't think he is he would sort of sit in that the penalty spot and just sort of get everything, you know.
Although maybe
right down the middle.
Although maybe Jesus is the guy if he just plays 30 games in a season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or else, like if you think about it, like if the development of the front three, you almost have to be a hybrid where Greenwood can play in every position.
Yeah.
Maybe you get someone who can play in every position, and like they already have Sterling, Bernardo Silva, and Mahrez. Those three could be the starters. Put Sterling down the middle. Maybe, who knows? They might already have the answer because Sterling's 24. So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see how. It goes.
Hold on, like scoring goals isn't actually their problem, you know, as well.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Sure, they won 5-0 without Aguero there the other day. No bother. I think that's the second time they scored 5 goals without him there as well.
Yeah. No, it's just I think just the centre back position. But you know what? Like as much as I was like, oh, Man City. Oh, that just makes. Why don't
we just throw that question out to the people who are watching this at home? Let us know in the comments below. If you're Pep Guardiola, who are you chasing in the transfer window this summer? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. How much money do you think they have to spend?
I think I don't think that's really a problem. I think it's who they want.
Yeah, but they could start going for Koulibaly as well, maybe something.
Yeah,
But
potentially so. Said in the week he might retire in Napoli.
yeah, right. Not if you're going to get that big payday.
Right, so let's have a look at that Champions League, Basmo.
Oh yeah, sorry. What I was going to say there was Man City. Like I was annoyed they're allowed in the Champions League because now it's the top four only gets the Champions League. But also next season will make the football even better. I think having this cloud over Man City this season also just didn't help them in their chase for the title. So next season everyone's going to be even better. United's, the Liverpools, and the Man Cities and the Chelseas. Like it's going to be way more exciting. Obviously, I'm forgetting the team. Wolves. Let's see. But yeah, Ross, you were saying?
I was just saying we're going to look at the Champions League. The Champions League this year round is obviously very different. It's going to be played over a one-leg system. Some of the second legs of the round of 32 are still to be played, or the round of 16, should I say. Funnily enough, when the draw was made, all the second legs of the round of 16 are on one side that are a game due, and then the 4 teams who are fully qualified are on the other side. Barry, do you want to call us out the fixtures that are left to be played?
Yeah, okay. The Champions League is actually back on the 12th of August, the day after my birthday for everyone who writes down that shit. But Atlanta are taking on PSG. Then Thursday, Leipzig are taking on Atletico Madrid. The Friday, the 14th, Napoli or Barcelona are taking on Chelsea or Bayern Munich. I'm not messing this up, aren't I?
No, go on.
No, because it's not in the last 16. There's a couple of games in the last 16.
Yeah, but you're saying or them.
Oh,
So
the quarterfinals.
Barcelona still have to play Napoli.
Yeah, Barcelona still have to play Napoli. Chelsea still have to play Bayern. Real Madrid or Man City are going to play Lyon or Juventus.
Yeah, there you go. So we have a first look at the games that are left to be played to get us to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, fair enough.
So Bayern Munich are what, 3-0 up against Chelsea?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
They absolutely destroyed them at home.
Yeah, so let's just say Bayern Munich are 1 quarterfinalist anyway. And Barcelona are 1-0 up against Napoli, I think.
2 of them there.
I actually don't. I'm actually
Hold on.
remembering off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I know. Man City have 2 away goals against Real Madrid, which is definitely the sort of the swinger of a tie, one might say. And then Lyon are 1-0 up against Juventus, and that was at home for Lyon. So, look, if you fancy Real Madrid to beat Man City, they're 30-1 to win the entire Champions League. That's not a bad price considering they've been there and done it all before. Barry, who are you looking at the Champions League this year, and who are you favouring? And also, with this new format, do you think we could see someone who's never won the Champions League before get the job done?
I know you asked me 2 questions there, but I'm sort of thinking if you're an attacking team, someone like Man City, if they're like, right, we'll beat whoever 6-3, 7-4, 8-4. You know what I mean? Like they know they can score a lot of goals. So if you go out and if it's a 1 game system, so there's going to be no repercussions of the away goal rule. Just go out and get 5, and you fancy Man City to not concede 5. But you can fancy.
What about someone like Atletico Madrid, who were able to over 90 minutes, like really nullify Liverpool and make it very hard for them to play? They're a great cup footballing team. You think someone like Atletico Madrid might be able to finally reach that glory and actually become Champions League winners?
You see, when they nullified Liverpool, they had like ages to prepare for that 1 game. And then after that game, you move on, right? So you're going to have less time to focus on the next game. But like everyone here is going to be solely focused on their first fixture. But then like you're going to have little time to get ready and recover for the next team. So
it's going to be the most fastest played Champions League of all time.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting.
I wonder, would that favour someone like Man City, who has the large squad as well?
Yeah.
Obviously, they have a tall task to get it past Real Madrid. Then they might have to play Juventus. Then they might have to play Bayern Munich or Barcelona. That side of the draw is extraordinarily heavy. The other side of the draw has 4 teams who've never lifted the Champions League trophy, as Atletico Madrid, as RB Leipzig, Atalanta, and PSG. So we're going to have 1 team in the final that's never won the Champions League before.
I think that semi-final is definitely going to be Atletico Madrid versus PSG. And that's a great semi-final where like you can almost chalk down already.
Is this PSG's best ever chance to win the Champions League now?
Yeah,
They
100%.
play Atlanta, they probably play Atletico Madrid, and then they just have to be one of those big teams that they've always struggled to beat in the knockout phases one time.
Yeah, but if you also look at PSG, their biggest problem has been Neymar has never been fit going into these final rounds of the Champions League. Neymar's back, Mbappe is back.
They're also playing friendlies at the moment to keep the team match fit as well. And both those players are still playing as well.
Yeah, man.
So
it's actually so exciting. Like, I mean, I know obviously if you're a Liverpool fan, you've already won the league. Nothing's really exciting now. But like the way the battle for the top four and then the Champions League and Europa League come in, people have totally forgotten that these two competitions are still going on, and the FA Cup as well.
So Barry, tell me, who do you think are going? Who's ended up in this Champions League final this year?
I'm going to go PSG, and I'm going to go.
The other side of the draw is so juicy, isn't it?
Oh man, it's almost yeah, very juicy. The options are unbelievable on the other side of the draw. Real Madrid, City, Lyon, Juventus, Napoli, Barca, Chelsea, Bayern. Like them versus PSG in a final it's you're getting a good one, you know. Who do you fancy?
I'm going to say Atletico Madrid versus Bayern Munich in the final. Although I would definitely fancy Bayern Munich more if all the games are played over two legs. Like they've been caught with their pants down sometimes over one leg.
Yeah, especially last season.
Yeah, so like
I'm hoping for a Real Madrid versus Juventus semi-final. Ronaldo versus Real Madrid.
It could be a battle of the bank balances in the final. Man City versus PSG.
As we're talking about us, man. No, I think I would love to see Juventus versus PSG, and then at the end of the season, Ronaldo might be leaving Juventus and go to PSG for the crack.
Yeah, well, look, Juventus have to beat Lyon, and that's not easy either. So
who are you going for the winner of the whole entire thing? This is guessing now.
You know what? I actually think the safest thing for me to say is Atletico Madrid because, like, it's the easier route to the final.
Yeah. At least it'll be halfway.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Atletico Madrid finally lift that Champions League with Diego Simeone.
I'm just going to go for PSG for the crack. Like, I actually don't think they're going to win it, but like I'm using the same point as you.
Yeah. It's like if I say Bayern Munich, they're knocked out in the quarterfinals, you look like a tick.
Oh man, look like more of a tick than they do now. That's impossible. Yeah. That's impossible, man.
Very meek.
But let us know actually in the comments, whoever's watching this now, if you watch this and you don't put comments in, like
you're missing out. You're missing out on the banter in the comment section.
Yeah, your name is just Mark Costello. But in the Europa League draw, Ross, that was also made straight away after, and less people gave a shit, but there were still some.
But we gave more of a shit.
Us Man United fans gave a shit.
Yeah. Well, do you think we could give Lask a few bob, like give them $100,000 or something like that, and they'll offer to just forfeit the game against us?
United are at home. Oh no, sorry. The majority of these games are going to be on in Germany. So.
I suppose it just means United are going to have to bring the reserves, isn't it?
No, Phil Jones can have his testimonial for this game.
He can indeed. Also, this is quite an interesting one because what way am I putting this? So in the round of 16, which they're at the moment, same as Champions League, some of the first legs never took place and they're not taking place. So there's just going to be one leg fixtures. So if the first leg was played, they'll play the return leg. But no first leg was played. It's a single-legged fixture.
Yeah, these games come back Wednesday, the 5th of August. The first one's Shakhtar Donetsk against Wolfsburg. Shakhtar lead 2-1. The second game is Copenhagen versus Istanbul Başakşehir. Copenhagen lead this one 1-0. United are taking on Lask. United are 5-0 up. And then in the final game on that day, it's Inter Milan taking on Getafe. That's
a one-rounder.
That's a one game.
A winner takes all.
That's a winner takes all. Then on the Thursday, Sevilla take on Roma, which should be a very good game. That's a one-leg fixture. Bayer Leverkusen take on Rangers. Bayer Leverkusen lead 3-1, so the Gers will definitely be out. Basel take on Frankfurt. Basel lead this 3-0. And then very interesting game, Wolves are taking on Olympiacos. That was 1-1 after the first leg. Man, by the way, Wolves are class.
But one thing that does need to be said is the return legs are taking place in the home team stadium.
Okay, so is that...
Yeah, so they're not in Germany. If you have a home game, you're playing in your own stadium. So United are playing in Old Trafford.
Oh, and Wolves are playing in Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves are playing in Molineux. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair then.
But Inter Milan are playing Getafe in Germany.
Yeah, Gelsenkirchen.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and Sevilla play Roma in Germany as well. Yeah,
I,
okay.
I, don't, I don't know what the story with that is going to be in relation to like quarantine and stuff, but I don't know. We'll let someone else. We'll let UEFA worry about that.
They're too
In
corrupt.
fairness, I'm sure there's loads. I'm sure there's going to be loads of tests for all the players before they get there.
Yeah, sure.
UFC's tour.
They're doing it now for all the Major League Baseball, the basketball, the MMA.
So, just to clarify for the quarterfinals, the winner of Wolfsburg versus Shakhtar will play the winner of Frankfurt versus Basel. Man United will play Istanbul or Copenhagen. The winner of Inter versus Getafe will play the winner of Rangers versus Leverkusen. And the winner of Olympiacos versus Wolves will play the winner of Roma Sevilla.
Nice. That'll be a good game.
Yeah,
If
and then
Wolves versus Sevilla would be the best. Wolves versus Sevilla, I'd say, because it's a bit the sort of Portuguese flair versus the Spanish flair. Obviously,
and the winner of that game actually plays the winner of Man United versus Copenhagen or Istanbul. Yeah. Man United seem to have the easiest run to the semi-finals. Put it that way, out of all the teams.
I actually thought United had the harder side.
No, to get to the semi-final.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying their quarterfinal is going to be easier.
Okay.
Well, they're going to have to play the winner of Istanbul versus Copenhagen. Who do you think is going to win that?
I don't really know.
It doesn't matter who's going to win it. You know, they're going to be both of them. Like, what are you talking about, man? Pretending that you know who plays for Istanbul, Basaksehir.
No, I'm pretty sure they have one player that's like a well-known footballer on their team, but I forget who it is. It could be like Ryan Babel, even though it's not. But someone like that. I think it's like Demba Ba or Papi Cisse, something like that.
I'm going to actually like go look up their team and be like, right, who's this guy Baz is claiming to know?
It could be like someone like Freddie Adu or something.
Let's say lineups in their last game. Demba Ba. And Martin Skirtle. And Gail Clichy.
All right.
And Robinho.
Robinho was the one I was thinking of. Yeah, so they're not terrible, man. They sell a few tickets.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's almost like I've seen an old school Harlem Globetrotters team or something. It's like
website.
It's like, look who we have. People you've seen before.
They let remember Bozjanov from Man City. It's like, oh, damn it.
Yeah, it's like they played in good teams before.
Yeah.
It's like, do you remember the goal that when Gerrard slipped? It was this guy.
Do you remember Joe, the big tall fella, the Brazilian chap from Man City? He's like, God, you bought him, played 2 games and fucked off. But yeah, there we go. I told you, I knew some of them players had some.
And who do you see getting to this Europa League final?
I don't know. Like, I'm not. If you think it's about United, you could be overly confident that next week we lose 6-0. Well, today we lose 6-0 to Southampton because Danny Ings is on fire. But I don't know if it can happen. But Inter Milan versus United final would be interesting for everyone.
Well, I think more. They're on opposite sides of the draw.
Okay, well then I'll take that. It's just whatever gives the fans the most excitement and interest in the game is what I want to have. So therefore, when we cover the shit, it's good. Like, for instance, Kamaru Usman won there in a shit fight there over the weekend. Like, and putting him as your thumbnail, you're getting minus.
Man, great foot stomps, no?
Oh yeah, you're signing me up for that.
The ultimate foot stomping competition. Yeah, well, we get to that on Wednesday.
Who did a better foot stomp? Kamaru Usman or DT when Arsenal let in the goal the other day?
Oh no, definitely DT. That was like Shawn Michaels tune up the band.
It was like a cannonball into the water. Oh man! Shout out Arsenal fan TV.
But
you have to love it. Like, if you don't love it, you're not a football fan.
For me, on one side of the draw you have Man United and Sevilla, and the other side of the draw you have Inter and Leverkusen. They're sort of your 4 top contenders for this year. Obviously, honourable mention to Roma and Wolves as well.
Yeah, man.
I just don't think Wolves have that European experience, but still a very good side.
Yeah, they're a very good side. Then, Ross, we may as well get back into the top 4 race, should we? Because, as we said, Man City are going to be allowed in the Champions League next year. So that means that the top 4 get into the Champions League. At the moment, it's Liverpool win the league. They're already in. Man City are coming second, as Ross mentioned earlier. They're in no man's land. They're basically like 21 points behind the top and 12 points ahead of third. So like they're just in there with 3 games to go.
They actually can't be caught. Like they're second no matter what.
Yeah, they're on 91 goals as well. Let's see if they can get over the 100 mark. I'm sure they're going to be going for that. So at the moment, Chelsea are third with 60 points. Leicester are fourth with 59 points. both Chelsea and Leicester played one game more than Man United, who played tonight against Southampton. United are currently on 58 points. So if United wins tonight, they go into third. Then Wolves are 3 points behind United, but they played a game extra. I'm not even looking at Sheffield United at 7. Although they're back in form, but I can't see them getting into that. Like, hopefully they get Europa League. But Ross, I'm calling.
To be honest, like, Sheffield United would have to win 2 games, and Leicester would have to lose 2 games for them to get ahead of them.
Okay,
and then even
I'm just trying
further.
to be realistic here.
Realistically, I think it's a three. You have 3 balls to put in 2 holes. Really.
Okay.
That's the way I look at it. It looks like Leicester are trying their best not to finish in the Champions League spots, by the looks of things. Now, I know Bournemouth were fighting for relegation and survival, but when you go 1-0 up against a team in the bottom 3 and they come back and beat you 4-1, and Dominic Solanke scores his first ever goal for your team, you know you're in trouble. You know you're in trouble. Brendan Rodgers just can't seem to get anything out of this Leicester team. Since they've come back from lockdown, they've had 2 draws, 2 losses, and 1 win. You know what I mean? That doesn't really cut the cheese for me. Man United have had 1 draw, 5 wins. Chelsea have had 2 losses and 3 wins. Things are trending for Manchester United to finish 3rd and Chelsea to finish 4th. Chelsea also play Norwich next. Maybe the worst team in Premier League history. I don't care about the points total when you lose 4-0 to a team that's also fighting for relegation in your survival. Mikel Antonio scores 4 goals against you. You're the worst team in Premier League history. A makeshift right back playing up front. That's the worst team I've ever seen. Chelsea, again, fighting for top 4, lose 3-0 to Sheffield United. Not good enough in my book. Manchester United, especially if they go out and get the result here against Southampton tonight, they're a shoe-in for 3rd spot, in my opinion. Chelsea also have to go play Liverpool next after the Norwich. Not an easy fixture.
Oh yeah, Leicester they seem to be running out of gas.
They really, really do.
Yeah, not having Maddison on the pitch as well. That's like another outlet they have. Like Iheanacho came to them from Man City, and he wasn't even scoring goals for Man City, and he came, and he's not scoring any goals here either.
Yeah, in fairness, I don't think he's the worst player, but like he's not. He put it this way: no one else in the top 4 is like, oh, gives it in Nacho. You know what I mean? It doesn't quite do it for me.
Yeah, look, if your strikers aren't scoring goals, you're going to be in serious, serious trouble. Especially the way United have United's front 5 are all scoring goals now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And look, Nacho's got 5 goals this season. Sorry, I just have less stats here. Maddison's got 6, Barnes has 6, and Perez has 7, and Vardy has 23. He scored basically all their goals. So it seems to me if you can stop Vardy, you can stop Leicester.
Yeah, but now the ball is in United's court. United win with 3 games to go. Yeah. They play Leicester on the last day of the season. I still think that could play some sort of part in whether United come 3rd or 4th. But what are you thinking about now, Ross?
I think United are going to win the rest of their games. They're just in that good form. Sure, they're beating everyone by 3 goals. It's not like they're sneaking it. I think that last game of the season, it could have some deciding factor. It could be a last throw of the dice for Leicester. That's the way more what I look at it.
What about if United play in the FA Cup semi-final this weekend? I think it's the Saturday.
Against Chelsea?
Yeah, do you think that could derail them then for the last game of the season? Being like,
I think the more games of football this team plays together, the better they get. And that's just from looking at it. Week in, week out, their performances have just like stacked on top of each other. And confidence is absolutely flourishing within that side.
Yeah, here for people that don't support United, but I'm sure a lot of people are watching the Man United play because they're like, oh shit, they actually look like they're coming back. What's your overall thoughts on this team now compared to pre-COVID? And what's your thoughts?
Well, it looks like Mason Greenwood's been given that run of games that he's been looking for all year. I think he scored 9 goals in his last 8 games. Obviously, that's a phenomenal start. He can score goals off both feet. He seems to be operating down the right. Martial seems to have really found his shooting boots. and his confidence since lockdown's come back. He's pissed off when he gets taken off. He's smiling when he scores. He's obviously a very, very good natural talent. Rashford's actually sort of dwindling a little bit. I'm almost like, pre-lockdown Rashford is probably the only player who's actually better than post-lockdown. But Bruno Fernandes is, anytime he touches the ball, it turns to gold. And Paul Pogba seems to be loving playing alongside him. And then I have to give a shout out to Nemanja Matic. He's doing a great job playing defensive midfield. Man United look very, very good. And that's just a matter of fact about it. Since lockdowns, undone, Manchester United will be winning the Premier League. Now, obviously, the game's played over 38 games. I'm not saying Man United are the best team in the league. But on form, no one's beating them at the moment.
Yep.
But equally, I'd like to say, Chelsea have been unlucky at times. They caught West Ham on a day where West Ham showed a lot of fight. Pulisic is looking great for them. Willian's looking great for them. Giroud and Abraham are looking like they're happy enough to get in amongst the goals. Ross Barkley, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. They're all doing their bit for Chelsea. Chelsea are looking good as well. I'll be very interested to see them with Ziyech and Werner. Next year, there'll be two definite improvements to their squad. If I were them, I'd be looking at bringing in centre half.
Yeah, the defense is just not up to it, man.
And their goalkeeper is actually statistically the worst goalkeeper in the Premier League. Kepa has a 54% save rate in the Premier League, and it's the worst in the Premier League by about 8%. So I think they'll have to buy a new goalkeeper next year. I'll be very surprised to see them stick with the one they have at the moment.
I think they're going to end up keeping him. I think they'll keep Kepa in goal. They spent too much money on him, and no one's going to sign him.
Well, who knows? Maybe they can do a deal where they send him back to Spain and get someone in return.
Send him back to Spain. Go back to Spain, you.
And then just to finish off Leicester, I just don't see Brendan Rodgers. I just don't see Brendan Rodgers getting them on track. Jamie Vardy's going to walk away with a golden boot. Leicester will be playing Europa League next year, and I just feel like that's the way it goes. I want to just have one quick look at the league just to make sure that they actually can't slip much further down. They are 5 points ahead of Sheffield United. I'd be very surprised to see them do that. Although they play Sheffield United next, and a win for Sheffield United would only put them 2 points behind. Sheffield United are chasing down Leicester for Europa League spot. That's the way I look at it.
They are.
What would you think? What would you think, Brendan Rodgers and Leicester, if they came into lockdown in third spot and then left in seventh? Wouldn't be good luck for them, would they?
What would I say to that?
It's sort of funny because they were doing a great season to be in third. It's not like everyone was like,
"Oh no, they were flying.
They
were flying. It's just,
and also at the start of the season, if they finished seventh, you would have went, fair enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then they got the injuries as well, and like their squad isn't big enough to be in the Champions League anyway.
In fairness, look, you learn a lot about them. They're at home, Sheffield United. They're after just losing 4-1 to Bournemouth. Let's see the response they have. Yeah. That will tell everything.
And also, ever since Maddison was linked with United, he just hasn't put on the same boots again.
Also, a draw is enough really for Leicester there to sort of secure them European spot.
No, I think they'll get Europe. So
yeah,
it's funny how the season's over, but it's still very exciting. Yeah, it's weird. It's funny to be round fifth. No medals for fifth, but it's just like you're always looking over your shoulder, and then United are in the form of their lives. I don't want it then. Thank God we're in Europa League because they could end up top, coming third. Like from nowhere, man. We're still doing worse than like under Moyes.
Yeah. We finished seventh under Moyes.
I think it was points. No.
Yeah, but points is irrelevant because like no one ever goes, we're doing worse. Well, we won the league, but we got less points.
Yeah, but maybe that's why you can use stats in your own way. Like
yeah. You can manipulate stats to make your point at any stage.
Yeah. They're obviously playing tonight. Quick prediction on that.
I think United win 2-0.
Just if they keep Danny Ings' mouth shut, they'll.
I'll take it back. I think United win 4-1. It's actually in Old Trafford, so they don't have to travel. Well, I fancy them more in Old Trafford.
I'm going 3-0 United. Okay, Ross. Yeah, we're obviously going to look at the relegation battle here as well, because from 16th down to 20th, it's still looking like it's going down. I think Brighton are 15th with 36 points. I think they'll stay up. But Norwich are on 21 points. They have 3 games to go. They're basically gone, Ross. Villa got a win there, so they're on 30 points. Bournemouth are on 31 points. Watford on 34 points, and West Ham are on 34 points. So
Yeah, the biggest thing is the next fixture down there is West Ham play Watford next, and if one of those two teams wins, well, that's all she wrote for one of them. I mean, whoever wins that game will be safe. And West Ham are at home. Antonio's on fire, but all 4 of those teams got wins at the weekend. Obviously, West Ham and Watford played first, and they put the pressure on them. But then Bournemouth and Villa really answered. I think it is a little bit too little, too late for Bournemouth and Villa.
yeah,
Especially with the goal difference. Bournemouth would need a sort of a 4 or 5 goal swing, really.
a few more Solanke's.
Get the job done. Aston Villa minus 27 goals. Like, I don't think so. The only thing is with the next fixtures, Villa actually play Everton, and Everton aren't looking the best at the moment. I think Europe's out of their reach. So at the end of the day, Villa could get a result there, up to 33 points. If West Ham or Watford lose, especially if West Ham lose, because Villa play West Ham in the last game of the season. So potential. But Bournemouth play City next at the Etihad, which is not really who you want to be playing with your next game of the season. So if I had to pick anyone to be guaranteed relegated, say Bournemouth, and then Villa, I think they stand a chance, but they need to pick up points before the last game of the season, and they need Watford to do them a favour and beat West Ham.
So I'm going Bournemouth, Villa, and Norwich to get relegated, right? But the thing
Norwich are relegated.
They might come back, man. They might pull a Man City and be like, "No, we drew that game. Remember VAR." It's like what? But if the thing is, right, if you're Jack Grealish right now, right, and you keep Aston Villa up, are you sort of like, "Oh, now I have to stay here next year because they're all going to be booing me"? Or if they get relegated, would you be like, "Right, grand, now I can leave without people giving out"?
Well, I think he can leave either way. If he stays up, the team that are looking for him are going to be better than Aston Villa. It's hardly going to be Leeds come up and then look for Jack Grealish. It's going to be a Spurs or an Arsenal or... I'm talking about teams who are actually going to, open up the checkbook and get him. It's going to be one of their sort of things. Or maybe a Man United or maybe a Man City, who knows. But if they go down, maybe someone like your Crystal Palace or your Newcastle, Southampton might take a punt on him. See if they can get him for 35, 40 million.
Newcastle. It's not bad. Like that seems like that could be a shout. I'm sure everyone in the league is going to try and...
Well, wouldn't Newcastle look quite good with your man Maximilian on the left and then Grealish sort of in the number 10 role in behind? You know what I mean? That could work for them if they play a sort of a United formation with the 2 long staffs playing centre mid.
That's the thing. The standard of the league, I know this season it hasn't... in my opinion, I don't think the league is as good as it has been in previous years. But
no, definitely not. I think the points totals are much... obviously, bar Liverpool are much lower this year than they were the previous years.
Yeah, but the squads are better.
True. Definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. But, if you look at last year, 3rd, 4th, 5th were all in around the 70-point mark. You know what I mean? As opposed to... And then 1st and 2nd were, verging on 100 points. But this year, people around the 50s and the 60s. So the points totals are definitely lower than they were from the previous year.
Yeah. So are we both thinking that Bournemouth Villa are going to join Norwich down the Championship next year?
I think so. And I wouldn't be too promising on either of those teams to come back up, or either of the 3 teams to come back up. If any teams come back up, I'd almost say Norwich. Only because I feel like their squad won't be as rated. And then also, I feel like they play nice enough football that they could actually win the championship.
Yeah, you see, Aston Villa did that thing that Fulham did 2 years ago,
But
was
they
it?
tried to buy a whole new squad.
Yeah, and then they just didn't have time to gel it.
Yeah.
And then Bournemouth are sort of they've a lot of older players.
One thing I would like to bring up, Asmo, just from the weekend's fixtures, just like the unique goal scorers that we got. Christian Benteke got back on the score sheet. Dominic Solanke got on the score sheet. Dave McGoldrick scored his first goal of the Premier League this year, and his second.
Yeah.
And his second. Who else? Someone else got on the score sheet that I was like, no way. Can you think of anyone else got on the score sheet? Solanke. Oh, and Trezeguet for Aston Villa got on the score sheet. I was like, David Trezeguet's nephew finally scored.
He's back.
He's back. But there were some very strange scores in the Premier League. Well, ones that we weren't used to.
Okay. Rank them in order, right? McGoldrick, Benteke, and
Trezeguet and Solanke.
No, forget about Trezeguet.
Okay.
He's only here a wet week.
Am I to rank them on who's better or on who was most likely to score another goal in the league?
I don't know, actually. Good question.
In fact, I actually think McGoldrick actually does a decent job for his team. I feel like they don't rely on him for goals. So I'd put him one. I'll probably put Benteke two because he actually can score a goal eventually. But Solanke, I think, played way too many minutes for the five scoring a goal. So, like, he's last. And I feel he doesn't actually offer anything but
he cost like 20 minutes. Goals.
Yeah, he's shite.
He played like 40 games. And his first goal was such a fluke as well. Now, so was McGoldrick's.
Yeah, but right place, right time for McGoldrick.
When you're grafting like that. Like, he hasn't been slated for not scoring goals. That's the thing. Whereas the other lads completely have been.
But all Sky Sports, I was like, he's key to the team.
Yeah, but it goes to show, if Martial's running around and he's not scoring goals, everyone's like, what's he fucking doing? But if McGoldrick's doing that, it's like...
Yeah, but Martial looks miserable, though. So, like, that's his problem.
He was miserable, actually. Let's call it a spade. Was there something else there you were saying?
No, I think just the last thing is Liverpool.
Yeah, let's finish off with Liverpool, yeah.
Their biggest points out, obviously, crown champions, they were held to a draw by Burnley. They're playing the mighty Arsenal next. They also have to play Chelsea. And I think they play Brighton on the last game of the season. I'm not too sure. There are the 3 games left. They could get 102 points. Can they do it, Basmo? Can they break 100 points in the Premier League? And they need 101 to beat the all-time record.
I don't think they will, just because they drew over the weekend and it gave certain players games to get their medals. Although I think everyone gets the medal now. I'm not 100% sure. We haven't won it in so long, I wouldn't know. But,
also, if they do win their last 3 games, they'll also break Man City's record for 32 wins in a Premier League season.
Liverpool have been unstoppable this year. And you know what? I think last year, the way it went to the final game of the season and they had to win, they just kept that flow of winning. Boom, 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 and kept going. The head was still down. They were still on the train while Man City went off the track to celebrate, have a bit of a Dom Perignon or whatever you want to call, or a cans of Dutch, whatever you drink. But Liverpool were like, right, we can't celebrate until we get this shit done. I know I'm playing the Champions League, but then it was a summer. But now that they've won, they're sort of setting up camp and singing a bit of Kumbayas and having a bit of a dance with Klopp. So, and that's, what is it? Silk sheets.
Yeah, it's hard to wake up when you're sleeping in silk sheets.
Yeah.
Also, Liverpool, like, they had to grind out a lot more results this year. Like, if you look at Liverpool's goal difference, they actually have a less goal difference than Man City, and they're 20-odd points ahead of them. So they were winning a lot more games by, like, 1 or 2 goals, as opposed to when Man City won the league last year and the year before, like, their goal difference was, like, plus 70 goals at the end of the season. You know what I mean? Like, they were able to take their foot off the gas after 60 minutes quite a lot, Man City.
Yeah, Liverpool's biggest test is going to be next year. Like, there's going to be more teams. And now, let's see how Chelsea go. If you know how to stay like this, that's going to be tough for them as well. Man City, if they add to Man City are going to add to their squad as well. The thing is, I haven't heard anything about Liverpool signing anyone new. So, who really fits in?
Also, they're going to struggle to get someone who's willing to go there because they can't be guaranteed playing time.
Yeah, but the thing is, when Liverpool put out the team, everyone knows exactly what their job is. So even when they make a sub, that person knows exactly what they're meant to be doing. I still feel like United need to sort that out. I think Man City basically have that sorted out, but they have a lot of players who are not as hungry as Liverpool players. I think Liverpool players, they do seem
Yeah, I
like,
think there's a lot of people in that Man City squad who like won titles without being the focal point. You know what I mean? Like John Stones has like so many Premier League medals, and like he wasn't the centre half, if that makes sense.
no, the Phil Jones. Phil
like,
Jones.
Riyad Mahrez won like Premier League by making like cameos for the last half an hour all season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't wait for next season. It's going to be way more interesting. Everyone's going to start off with a clean slate. I feel like everyone sort of did with the COVID there, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I think I'm just looking forward to a higher standard of football, and I'm sure Liverpool want to have a battle as well. To like, I know because there was time they did battle it out, they lost the league, and this season they almost had a clean slate straight at it. So next year it should be interesting for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that sort of wraps everything up. Baz thinks Atalanta are going to win the Premier League. Or Champions League. He thinks Istanbul are going to win the Europa League, and he thinks Norwich are still going to stay up in the Premier League this year. Baz, some great predictions out of this time around.
They call me Mystic more. Well, Ross, we said earlier that we'll do like a quick FA Cup final preview on for Thursday or Friday. We'll have it out later out in the week. Our MMA show, aka Combat Show, will be out on Wednesday. There we go. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Also, Ross is doing his own Facebook MMA page as well. Ross, mentioned that there with it.
Yeah, I set up a group. I think it's called MMA Combat Elite.
Combat
I think.
Elite,
It's just a group that I set up just for. It's almost like a forum just to have discussions on MMA. So, like, if you do watch our show, go onto Facebook, type in Combat Elite, should be there. I think there's only about 20 members in it at the moment, but we want to slowly, surely grow it.
It's free.
Absolutely free, of course. Just want to pick people invite people in who know about MMA to start off with, and then we'll let it go from there. Just keep it small to start off with. But that's what all things do. They start off small, and then they grow large.
And as always,
stay energized.